From year to year, month to month, week to week, and day to day, people across the world are obsessed with a phenomenon that is professional wrestling. But why? 101 reasons to love professional wrestling. There are many components of professional wrestling that should be both understood and celebrated, in no particular order. Robes. There are an overabundance of clothing items that a professional fighter can wear to the ring. Many of the greats have went with the entrance robe. A robe is a loose-fitting outer garment with many purposes. It can be part of academia regalia, worn as a judge, religious dress, rocked in royalty, and fantasy literature. And it's a conveniently warm option for exiting the bath, or in sports, exiting the locker room. The walk from the locker room can be pretty long. Sometimes the warmth of a robe is called for to maintain the warmth from a pre-fight warm-up. And there is no reason these robes cannot be magnificent works of fashionable art. Robes have been part of professional wrestling from the very beginning of the sport, and in all countries. These no-frill robes were worn by some of the greatest of the black and white era. Also during this time, the incorporation of glamour can be credited to the flamboyant Gorgeous George. His robes were unlike his predecessors, as they were part of his act and persona. And that is no exaggeration. His character would not exist without his passion for his robe. One night, when wearing his entrance robe to the ring, he was taking too much time folding it. This tested the patience of the crowd to a near riotous atmosphere. And when you're a heel, this is exactly what you want. So George Wagner ran with it. During his career, he would enrage crowds across the country with his collection of over 100 robes decked out in lace, sequins, and fur. Thousands of tickets and even thousands of televisions were sold with the goal of seeing Gorgeous George get his just desserts. The entrance robe would become part of the abnormal norm that is professional wrestling. And of course, when talking about entrance robes, we have to talk about the nature boy Ric Flair. The stylin', profilin', limousine-riding, jet-flying, kiss-stealing, wheeling and dealing son of a gun is the king of the entrance robe. Since the 1970s, Ric Flair has graced the crowds with the awe-inspiring custom-made garment of glory. These fabulous fabrics cost the man a reportedly $10,000 a pop, so they should definitely look great. And they most definitely woo. Ric Flair is known for many things: his great matches, his great promos, and his great entrance robes. In 2008, the robe he wore at WrestleMania 24 was donated and featured at the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. In 2017, one of Ric Flair's iconic robes even sold for $27,000 in auction. In the same year, the Nature Boy was honored in the form of a beautiful statue. Of course, it's in an entrance robe. Some would attempt to rock the robe, but fail to live up to its status. Others would have success with the casual coat. Some would go with the glitz, and a few would carry on legacies. Whether it's for the majesty, the glamour, or the convenient warmth, a professional wrestling fan knows that the entrance robe should always be respected, because we fans know that Ric Flair is always watching.